Yo, good people. It's your homie HerbMan, busting you back upside the head with another hot banger boogie. Please go tell somebody to go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. Yes, sir. And if you're new to the program, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all the platforms at Love HerbMan. All right, so I am your neighborhood holistic practitioner. I am your homie HerbMan. We're coming live from South Africa, live on YouTube, live on TikTok. Please go get somewhere, get situated on this Monday morning on the east coast of town. All right, but we are coming to you, teaching you guys about how to heal yourself. All right, but you cannot heal yourself unless you know thyself. We teach you here about the human frame and the human design so that you guys can be well on your way to the happiness, wholeness, and the wellness that you deserve. Okay, and so all of us is looking for this wholeness. Each and every one of us, from the least to the greatest, is looking for this wholeness. We're looking to fill these voids. We're looking to mend these fragmentations, and we can show you how to utilize holistic medicine in order to get this done in your life. Look, the future of medicine is no medicine at all. Why? Because we're going to know more about ourselves. We're learning more about ourselves on a daily basis. We're upgrading our understanding of the body itself, biology, and then we're also understanding cosmology. And then when we put it all together, you'll see that both of those together equals one thing: living a life of spirituality. True spirituality is the integration of spirit and matter, mind and body. Okay, and so what it is that some of you guys are just great spiritual people, but you just no good when it comes to the fleshly part of life. You know, the physical part of life. You're not fun. You're not this and that. And some of you guys are just totally physical. All matter, all huts and puffs and go and this, that, and the third. But spiritually, you're just not grounded enough. Okay. And so what it is that this integration is the most important component until you understanding how to utilize holistic medicine. Now, this is the difference, because when you're looking at modern medicine today, it is not integrative, it is isolated, and it is reductionist. Okay, reductionism is when you reduce things all the way down to the finite and say, hey, look, this looks like it's the best part of this particular thing, so let's just use this and accompany it with some other inorganic things. And so you're getting isolated, you're getting reductionist type of understanding. But here is the thing: you don't need to be so microscopic with everything that's going on in life. Otherwise, you'll always be trapped in the maze of life. You don't want to be trapped in the rat reel. So how do you rise above this thing in order to get a very good vantage point to get you the cheat code? And the thing is that you got to rise above. Now, how do you rise above? This ain't about leaving your body. The old gurus taught us that it's better to just leave the body. It's better to separate the spirit from the matter. It's better to just get up out of here and escape all of the wooblah of world and this, that, and the third. If you don't want to be tainted, if you don't want to go to hell, if you don't want to sin, then you got to leave your body behind. But that is a misnomer, and I'm here to tell you that. And so what we need to understand is that when we're listening to old information, that's just what it is. It's old information. You can take it in, but it is your responsibility to evolve that, to know first that it's old, to understand that it was based on the information that was at that time, right? So you're only basing what these people know off the time they were in. A 1455 mind ain't the same as a 2025 mind. And so your story is going to be different in history, but it's about the evolution, right? It's about hearing my story and seeing how I could have gotten better as a human species, or how my life could have gotten better from the hind's eye view. And so that's the vantage point, is looking at history and then charting out what were the problems and then charting out the solutions. And the only problem is you only know as much as you know at the time you're in. And we have an amazing opportunity to know more than any time on the planet because we got all of those people who died before us to learn from. They didn't have all of us to learn from, but we got all of them to learn from. And then you understand how to think in a holistic way, how to see things in a bird's eye view, how to see things from an eagle's eye perspective. And then when you're able to hover above your situations while bringing your body up with you, don't leave your body, bring your body up with you so that every time that you're in any situation, any experience, any environmental stimuli here on this planet, you always got spirit and matter. And when you got spirit and matter, baby, that's your superpower. That's how you're able to manipulate. Yes, you may run into a lion, tiger, and bout of life sometimes, but you'll know the route out. You'll know how to get away. You'll know how to adjust to it. But remember that if I keep you overstimulated, if I keep you stressed out, if I keep that heart beating fast, if I keep that nervous system stressed, then you have an inability to have high logic and reason. And that's just what the TI is. Okay? So you guys happen, I'll keep talking, you guys, there is no panacea product, but there is a panacea program. And that's what you really want to understand about holistic medicine. How do I use holistic medicine? How does this work for me? If I say I want to get off this pill and I say I want to turn and get off the healthcare system of today, what can I do, whether I'm in China or whether I'm in South America or whether I'm in Africa or whether I'm in America or Europe? What is it that I can do? Okay. How do we use this? That's the question, right? Somebody put in the chat, how do we use this HerbMan? Okay, how do we use this, right? Because at the end of the day, is the biggest thing about this, right? Is how do we make seasonal knowledge practical? How do we make it powerful? How can we make this knowledge life-changing? And today I'm gonna try to give my clearest, deepest analogy of how these applications can work for you. Okay. The first thing I want you to know, right? Let's see if we can write this down. You guys keep tapping out, keep talking. This is live on TikTok, live on YouTube. Please go somewhere and get situated, okay? The first thing that you want to understand about holistic medicine, and definitely about the owner's manual, because that's what I'm talking about is my program, is that you want to use this knowledge to stop fighting against yourself. Okay. First, we want to use this knowledge to stop fighting against ourselves. Use the knowledge to stop fighting ourselves. Now, this is a very big one. Off the jump, okay? Off the jump, this is a very big one because this is what's actually happening, okay? Most suffering is going to come from moving in the opposite direction of where God and the will for your life is actually trying to send you. Okay? Most of our suffering is coming from the ignorance that I just talked to you about because of the way you're seeing life. The way I see life is above the matrix. The way you see life is inside the matrix. Then we're going to have a different take on if this heavenly or hellish. I'm going to consider it heavenly because there is no opposition that I can't figure out from the vantage point that I'm viewing life. From my perspective, there's nothing too hard for God. Me. That's from my perspective. So even if I do get into a wall, or even if there is a bridge or a cliff, or even if there is a separation or some enmity between me and my goal, because of my vantage point, I can always manipulate it from the higher perspective and manipulate it to my favor. There's nothing to, they say everything works for the good of those who believe in what? And so therefore, but you got to know what perspective you're in. So most of the suffering is going to come from you not knowing the direction. That's what the owner's manual is perfect for. Giving you a sense of direction, a sense of meaning, and a sense of identity. Most of our suffering is coming from moving in the opposite direction of where you actually are in life. For example, let's say you try to manifest in a winter time of life. Well, how are you going to manifest something when you're supposed to be conserving? All that's going to do is make you burn out. Let's say you're trying to harvest in spring. How you going to be trying to reap when you're supposed to be sowing? You're setting yourself up for disappointment. Listen to me. Oh, you trying to rest, but you're in the summertime of life. So you resting when you're supposed to be doing your biggest, your best? Oh, you're wasted potential. I'm going to try to begin again. I'm finna start over. I'm finna start new. But we finna start new, but you in fall. So this ain't a new thing you're supposed to be releasing. You're trying to get. That's going to cause confusion. Nature teaches you timing of your own life. So it is incumbent to learn the cyclical understanding of nature. It teaches you the timing of your own life, okay? And so once you guys start to understand why it is important to understand this as a holistic medicine thing, is because you can't get no better, man. And when you're out here and you're looking for something, it's got to be a system to it, okay? You can't let nobody just give you no anything, sell you no anything, and try to tell you no anything. You have to know this stuff for thyself. Because when you know your season, you stop demanding the impossible from yourself. Doesn't that alleviate stress? When you know your season, you stop demanding so much. You stop being so in high expectation that you start demanding the impossible, because you can't do it if you're not in that season. But you don't know, adding additional stress. Okay? So then you use the knowledge so you can stop fighting against the tides of your own life. Secondly, I want you guys to start understanding that you need to follow the energy of the current season. This is how you ride the wave, okay? You want to follow, all right, the energy of the current season you're in. All right? Because this is going with the flow. This is how opportunities come, but this is also how you keep the peace and keep the calm in your life, is when you follow the energy of your current season. Now, we show you all of this stuff in the owner's manual, because each season changes how your body, we went over these things yesterday, the emotions, the mind, the purpose, and the spirit want to move. And you need to know where those things are moving at. And remember that they ain't got to be moving. They ain't got to be moving one at a time. They can be moving simultaneously. And your job is to get them to move all in one direction. Okay. So if your season, let's say you're in spring, and spring is new beginnings here. We got this on the board here. You guys keep tapping, I'll keep talking. The body wants gentle building. Your emotions want to be open and want to be renewed. The mind wants to learn in spring. Purpose wants to be explored in spring. Spirit wants curiosity when it's in the spring. So if you push on spring summer behaviors, if you push on spring intensity and I want results right now, and you push on spring pressure, you breaking your cycle. And when you break your cycle, life tends to be a lot harder than what it really needs to be. And this is the secret science of our ancestors, so that we were always one and always in tune, so that we can always be supernatural. Your supernatural abilities is nothing but your natural state. When you're in your natural state, you become more super, only simply because you'll be more one with the land. When you're one with the land, then you're integrated. When you're integrated, you can hear from water, and water can hear from you. When you're integrated, you can hear from land, and land will hear from you. When you're integrated, you can hear from air, and air will hear from you. When you're integrated, you can hear from the sun, and the sun can hear from you. When you're integrated, you can manipulate, so that when there is a fire condition in your life, you know how to raise the water and be able to block out that fire. When there is an air condition in your life, you'll know how to ground that thing with a little earth. And so this is what they used to do. When you go back to nature, to your natural abilities, that's how you tap into the super you. Okay? That's when you understand that. So this, in essence, will start to allow us to eliminate self-sabotage. Okay? Self-sabotage. And then the third thing is, let's not force what's not in the season. Okay? Again, these are all just about how to ride the wave. Let's not force, okay? Not force what's not in that season. Now, a lot of you guys like to call me talking about your boo. Well, my boo, Usher face ass. But a boo ain't every time, every 5 minutes. Sometimes it's just you need some isolation. Sometimes you need to sit your ass down. Money ain't every 5 minutes. Sometimes you need a vacation. Sometimes you need relaxation from that. See, but you want it all the time. If he go, I want some more of that. Job, leave me, let me work. Sometimes these natural things is saying rest, isolate, think about it, contemplate, not force what's not in the season. Okay, let's not force what's not in season. Now, I'm talking to vegans and vegetarians. I'm talking to the lovers. I'm talking to who, the drinkers, the smokers, whatever it is. What I'm saying to you is stop forcing what's not in season in your diet. And your diet is about your food. Your drink is also about your thought life, and it's also about your emotional life. Stop forcing what's not in season in your body. To me, that's the inorganic. To me, that's the thing that's not alkaline. Is when you start bending nature to your wants and needs. So you want it every day. So therefore, you get out of the cycle. You break cycle. You can't force a relationship sometimes, you guys, if you're in the winter of life, because that's not a time. It's conserving. I'm conserving my energy. I'm not looking for a mate. You can't force success in spring. You just beginning. You can't force reinvention in fall because that's just not the time for it. And you can't force rest in summer. Nature is the teacher. Every single thing in our life has a right time. And the old ancient understanding was those brothers and sisters who could partake time for us. They can impartate time. The pastor and the preachers and the real spiritual leaders was those people who can impart to us the time. What do we do in this time, my Lord? What do we do in this time, Father? What do we do in this time, priest? What do we do in this time? That means that you had to be a time consultant. That means that you had to be a person who understood how to calculate and how to navigate. And that's what the owner's manual is all about. You guys keep tapping, I'll keep talking. So instead of forcing things in your life, I'm trying to teach you today about the power of alignment. Yes, you know the power of forcing. You understand that you can force some things to happen. You can move some doors and push some doors open. You can commit rage and violence and abuse toward one another and yourself. You can force things to happen prematurely, out of line. You can do that, but there's real power also in alignment, because alignment creates the ease, but force creates the resistance. So it can't be trying to harvest love in the winter. Yes, sir. So we got to teach you guys about what Shadur Sanders is trying to tell y'all on the slide. Now, here it is. Now, I ain't going to give him no credit for it because he don't even know what he's talking about. But there is something about perfect timing. It's something about understanding perfect timing, divine timing, Kairos timing. That in my sickness, I ran across this brother, the perfect time. That in my financial despair, I ran across this encouragement, perfect. But you got to know the difference. And in my loneliness, while I was scrolling, I ran across this brother in perfect. See, so he shouldn't be the only one in a game that understands perfect timing. But you should also be there as well with him. Because here's the secret. The seasons will solve your confusion. The season will solve the confusion. but you got to know it. Your ignorance of it won't allow it to happen. But if you let seasons solve your confusion, you'll see that most confusion is just mistimed actions. Perfect timing. Now listen to me. Most confusion come out of just mistimed actions. See, if your season is in spring, again with new beginnings, okay? If your season is spring, you're confused because growing and you haven't stabilized that yet in you. If it's summer, it can confuse you because you have too many opportunities and you don't know what you're doing. Fall can be confusing because you're evaluating and pruning at a time you shouldn't. So instead of asking what's wrong with me, start to ask what season am I in? This alone will remove 70% of your internal chaos, which would then cause this heart rhythm and this peace and this coherence that we're talking about to unveil itself, and your supernatural powers can start to solve some of your unnatural stumbling blocks, because you shouldn't be lacking in any way anyway, because again, it's our perspective. Yeah, you think that wall, a rat is going to think that there's no way around that wall as long as he's inside the matrix. But if you lift him up and see that he could have made a left where he made a right, but in the situation, you're lost. But with a different perspective, you can find the way out. Nature will give you timing windows. So you can use seasons to predict your future, okay? Let's write this down as number 5. You can use the seasons to predict your future. You guys keep tapping. I'll keep talking, you guys. We're talking about the owner's manual. If you are interested in anything that you're hearing here today, please DM us and we will get you this information, okay? But this is how you use holistic medicine. It ain't about just taking no herbs. Herb alone is just a supplement to something greater, something bigger. And that's why people are not flocking to herbs the way that they should, is because medications is stronger in perspective, but not really. They're fast paced because you're robbing Peter to pay Paul to get rid of something. But this is fast paced if you let go of the things that are creating the issue. If you understand what I just said, both can work at the same time, or this could be a lot faster. Okay? Use your seasons to predict your future. Okay, use the seasons to predict. How? Because you know what seasons are. You know what winter is. Winter, I already told you out here looking in nature that ain't nothing going to be going and growing. You already know the attributes of spring. Things are springing forth. New beginnings, new things spring forth. You already know the attributes of summer. Summer is when the party be happening, you doing your thing, you in your groove. You already know the attributes of fall. The leaves on the tree are called leaves for a reason. Fall is when things start to leave. That means things start to constrict and start to get into a little bit more functional understanding, right? So you got to think that there's a release. So then right then, there's a time when new things are going to happen to me. There's a time where I'm going to be at my greatest. There's a time when things are going to fall away. And there's also a time when there's not going to be a whole lot going on in life. And it's got to be more inward, more spiritual things going on. All 4 of those things are going to happen on a daily basis. It can happen on a weekly, monthly, yearly, and a lifetime. And if you can predict when you will rise, when you will rest, when you will succeed, when you will love deeply, when your major transitions will occur, all the information that is available to you nowadays, and with your owner's manual, then because seasons follow a pattern. I just told y'all that. So if you can start predicting, then guess what? When you know your season, you know what is coming next, and you can prepare. Now, I can't stop the tornado from coming because I'm not God. I can't stop the earthquake. But what we can do is give you preparation. We can tell you the storm is coming. I can't stop it, but you know it's coming. Go somewhere, hide, get your raincoat, do what you got to do. So this is preparation, and preparation beats piss poor performance. Prevention is cheaper than the cure. We're teaching you how to be preventative. Mankind must live on. The evolution of man must go. So people like me and more people like me will continue to grace the front, to move the species forward in all categories of life. Okay? In all categories of life. Number 6, let's say base your decisions on the season of wisdom. Okay? Base your decisions on this knowledge, on seasonal wisdom. I've been teaching this for a long time. Okay, seasonal diet. Okay, seasonal diet. I call it climate diet, a climatic diet. Understanding the climate. You can go outside every day and know what you need to eat. If it's hot, you can balance that. If it's cold, you can balance that. Okay, you don't need the weatherman. You just need to understand how to go out into nature and let your body tell you what you need. I don't need for the weatherman to tell me it's cold. I can open up my door. All right. So when you make decisions based on seasonal wisdom, then let's say you're in the spring, then you'll understand what decisions I need to make. Okay. Maybe I need to start small because I know I'm just starting. Maybe I understand more that I need to learn. I need to understand more that I'm exploring. I need to understand more that I'm at the phase of building foundation. So I don't make drastic decisions. Right? I'm not trying to make permanent decisions when I just now starting to plant seeds. I can be patient with myself, knowing my season. Okay? If I got to make summer decisions, all right, then I know that if I'm in the summer of my life, it's time for me to take action. It's time for me to launch whatever it is and commit to whatever it is that I want to do because I know where I'm at. I know that that's where I'm at. It's time for me to go public. It's time for me to get it out there. It's time for me to take the risk because I know I'm in summer and I know I'm going to land on my feet. You see what I'm saying? Now we're talking about manipulating this thing in a different way so that you stop being handicapped and stop being codependent and start going back to look. This is how heaven looks like. Heaven looks like what I'm describing to you. Heaven is when everything is abundant and everything is under your control. Every single aspect you can control. But you got to know nature, know God to know heaven. If you're in fall and you're trying to make this, see, that's the thing. You came here thinking you're supposed to be sick, you're supposed to be broke, you're supposed to be lonely, you're supposed to die. And so you're welcoming that. And now you just say, well, we all got to die from something. And so you'll let broke be it, you'll let lonely be it, you'll let job be it, you'll let sickness be the reason that you leave here because somebody told you were supposed to. But if you understood nature, you'll realize, does nature die? When have you seen the sun die, the water die, the earth die, or the air die? And you're made of all 4 of those things. So you got to understand that I am everlasting, but I have to roll with the flow of nature to be everlasting. Anything that impedes against the flow of nature will decay. Anything that impedes against the cycle of life will decay. Fall decisions. Knowing when you're in fall, you're knowing that's a time of evaluation, that's a time of refinement. That's a time of harvesting. That's a time of protecting your gains. Okay? That's a time of choosing long-term paths. You got to know that. Winter decisions are going to come into your life, and you got to know that that's a time of release, not trying to get something. That's a time of rest, not trying to do something. That's a time of ending old cycles, not a time to start something. That's a time to heal, not a time to keep on going. That's a time to reset. But you don't know your seasons, and you don't know how to use holistic medicine. Okay? Because nobody's teaching holistic medicine holistically anymore. Nature is involved in this stuff, not just the plants. Nature is involved in this stuff, not just some sea moss. Getting back to nature and getting your relationship rekindled back with nature, aka God for real, is the true essence of coming back into oneness with God. You got to get back into nature. And you need to make decisions that match your season. And life immediately becomes smoother. It immediately becomes more efficient. And it don't take that amount of time. But you got to be able to use daily stuff, your daily flow. Okay? You got to use daily flow. Okay? Daily flow meaning discharges to keep you in heaven. To keep you in heaven, you got to keep on discharging the evil that's going to come upon you based on this environmental stimuli. Because when a lion, tiger, and bear keep coming at you, you're going to want to kill one of them. In a few minutes, you're going to want to keep figuring out how to get around them. In a minute, you're going to get tired of boy, y'all keep on jumping out of these goddamn bushes. I'm going to shoot one of you motherfuckers. But you got to make sure you understand that the sanctity of life is always a value for you and for the things that coming out in your stimuli. So it's all about how to circumvent and understand that I don't have to hurt you to help myself, but I don't have to hurt myself to help myself. Okay? So we use daily and weekly rituals to stay in sync with nature. And that's the stuff that I tell you about in your owner's manual. Because when you live seasonally, your emotions can stabilize way, way easier than medications could ever do. Your clarity can increase. Your intuition can return, which is why we do this, so that when that happens, you get the solutions to your problems yourself and just start to integrate them into your life. And your life instantly changes. Your energy rises. Your purpose becomes obvious. Your relationships improve. I know mine has. Why? Because I have improved. Your nervous system starts to get better at regulating itself. Your decisions start to sharpen. Your life path, your identity, your meaning starts to become illuminated, more clearer. This is a healed human. This is a whole human. This is a well human. And so that's why we use sunlight in the morning. That's why we like to use grounding in the evening. That's why we like breath of the that long exhalation breath. Movement when we're feeling stagnant. Rest so that we can get that energy back. And these are the things of knowing just when to do these things. And that's what the owner's manual will actually bring into you, the when. Nature is always telling you what to do, but we've lost communication. We've lost discernment. We've lost our ability to hear nature. We've lost our ability to hear God. And that's the only reason you need a mediator. That's the only reason you need a mediator, a med. A med is a mediator. And the only reason you need some kind of mediation, some kind of medication, some kind of mediator, some kind of meditation is because you lost your communication and your relationship with God. Because there's nothing that should be in the middle of you and your power. There's nothing that should be in the middle of you and your abundance. There's nothing that can get in the middle and cause any enmity between you and your abilities, unless you're ignorant of this information. The only thing that can stop you from being supernatural is your ignorance. Okay? Humans suffer because they don't know this. Humans suffer when they ignore timing. Nature never ignores timing. I'm telling y'all, this Shadur Sanders thing, go deeper and spiritual with it. You got to know the timing. Tick-tock. The clock is going. People are dying left and right. You got to know timing to move in and out of the highways and byways of danger that we call the lion, tigers, and bears. You got to know how to move throughout the matrix. You got to know your moves in the maze. Otherwise, you'll still be stuck on that McDonald's table because you couldn't find your way out of the maze. You know, you only take it home when you complete that little, you know, when you go to Applebee's, you ain't taking that little maze home unless you win, unless you won. Okay? But you'll find yourself still stuck on the table because you couldn't see it from the angle that you're from. They give it to children because children are standing over it with an eagle's eye view that makes this maze a lot easier. How can you do that in your life? With the owner's manual. When you align with your life seasons, your body seasons, your emotional seasons, your purpose seasons, your relationship seasons, you stop moving against the wind. You stop swimming against the waves. You stop going against the tides. And you start moving and flowing with it. And this is going to create the momentum in your life that you're looking for in your finances. This is going to create the ease that you're looking for in your social status. This is going to create the clarity. This is going to create that timing. And that's the manipulation of this experience. Timing, perfect timing. But you got to be in alignment to be able to time this thing. Anybody got any questions? Nicole said you easily flow. Yes, that's right. You easily flow, right? And it's a peaceful flow. And that's what we're trying to really get you guys to understand. It's a peaceful flow, right? Because that peace is everything. That's the true essence, right? And so when you're in that flow, it's like, man, I'm not, I know that this is winter. So I'm not necessarily mad at being able to relax and rest at this time of my life because I understand this season in my life. Or I know I shouldn't be looking for no man right now. Or I know I shouldn't be looking for this career opportunity right now. I know I should be on my feet going and traveling, or I may be needing to sit down. Life will tell you that stuff. It's how you pick up on it. And what's your perspective of a life like that? Okay? Ask yourself 3 things, all right? What season am I in? What does this season naturally want from me? And what is one thing I can do today that will align with it? That's what you want to ask yourself. What season am I in? Spring, winter, summer, fall. And what does this season naturally want to do for me? New beginnings, flourish, transform me, or make me conserve? So does it want to make me grow? Does it want to make me manifest, harvest, or rest? And what's the one thing I can do that will align with it? And that's all you got to do. And this is how you start to naturally allow nature to guide your entire life. And you can allow the owner's manual to serve as a guide for you to get you started on this journey. And this is how you utilize holistic medicine, where you get your entire life involved into your healing. Healing is not passive, okay? Being rich is not passive. Being a wealthy person is not a passive thing. Being a healthy person is not a passive thing. These things are participatory. That means that they require your full, unadulterated commitment and personal responsibility. Nobody is getting big in the gym and looking like Lou Ferrigno without work. Nobody's flying through the air like Jordan without work. Nobody is getting all these different things without the work. So you must understand that these health and wealth things that you keep scrolling on your phone and wishing and dreaming that you had is because you only can wish and dream about it because the practice is what you're doing in the dark that is going to be significant to why you might need to hang on to that 20-year job you got, that you might need to keep clocking in, because when you don't clock in, you don't do nothing for yourself. When you ain't in school, you ain't learning. And so it requires for you to have to do that in order to do something. Then you can't do it on your own. Yeah, you need to be pacified. But if you can work in the dark, if you can practice in the dark, then it's not too much longer then you're going to be able to do things on your own. If you can do the work when they ain't requiring you, if you studying when they ain't requiring you, if you're doing all of this, then guess what? You won't be codependent for long. Okay. Somebody said I'm in spring. Okay. How do you know you're in spring, Solar Shan? I flow like water. I don't allow the chi to control me. I'm in spring, new beginnings. There you go. Okay. But understand that these things could be in different places simultaneously. Okay. So what I'm trying to get you to understand, and I'm glad you guys said that. You guys keep tapping out, keep talking. I'm glad you said that. So here we go. Here we go now. And so this is the thing I'm teaching you about holistic medicine, right? Very, very good, very exciting stuff. All right. Very good, very exciting stuff. Okay. So your body could be in spring. Your mind could be in summer. Your emotions can be in the fall. Your financial situation could be in the winter. Okay. Your relationships could be in the winter. So what aspect of you are you saying that you in, right? And so most of us only know one or two of these based on your owner's manual, but that's why I'm teaching you guys this so that you can start to do this on your own. I can't put down every freaking little thing, but if you start to get it on yourself, you don't really you start to even lose the necessary understanding of me because I'm educating you about this shit every day for y'all to get it yourself. Okay? Educating you every day for you guys to get it. Now, if you guys are interested, you can get it and you don't really want to learn about it, then DM me. We'll get you your owner's manual for that little funky measly $50. Okay. This doesn't require a blood sample. I don't need a blood type. I urine sample. I don't need to prick you, prod you, or poke you. This is non-invasive, non-intrusive, and it's only for $50. Okay. So now your body could be one thing. So the thing is that this ain't a problem. None of this is a problem. This is all okay. But your job is to get all of this to move in one direction, move in one flow, right? We need for you to get all of these different aspects of life moving in that one flow, okay? Moving in that one flow, right? That's the thing. We need for you to get all of these things moving in that one flow. And how you do that is about knowing the timing. You know, okay, he just told me my relationship is in winter. I know the timing on that. So I ain't going to be trying to get no man right now because that'll break my cycle. If my body is in the spring, he's already let me know that this is gentleness for my body, right? I don't need to put too much pressure on my body, need to do nothing because my body is just now developing. We're just now starting new. So I'm not going to put a whole lot of heavy expectations on my body if my body is in spring. If my mind is in summer, you just told me that summer is when you clicking, summer is when you flourishing. So now everything that I'm thinking about, so now I'm not putting a whole bunch of emphasis on the body because really the summer is my mind. Anytime anything get in the summer is when it's popping, baby. So I'm gonna use my mind more than my physical. The onus is on the mind. Okay, so then my emotions is in fall. So now with these emotions, I know I'm starting to just let things go, release things, reevaluate how I'm doing, regaining emotional intelligence, all of that old stuff. All the old emotions are going away. The new emotions are starting to come in. All this emotional intelligence is starting to fervor. It's starting to create that within me now because I understand this now. Instead of me trying to keep that old situation going on and all these old mama and trauma dramas going on, now I know I can start releasing them. And if my finances is in winter, I know this is a time for me to reevaluate, rest, look back at the platform, see what it is that I want to be able to invest my time and energy in, and then go forward. But this ain't a time to be looking for a lot of money as far as in my pocket, but this is a time for me to be looking for more money as I rest and conserve and starts to plot my journey intentionally. Okay? So you got to know this. And we're able to understand this today, you guys. We're able to tell you guys about this, okay? We're able to get this information to you. All right. We're able to get this information to you. And that's why understanding holistic medicine is the top thing that you can do. The top thing that can benefit you in this day and time is understanding alternative ways of healing yourself. And again, I'm gonna say this on every live here going out. All I'm doing is teaching you guys about how to produce in yourself free medicine. Okay, free medicines, and the free medicines are going to come from how you are perceiving the experience. And 99.9% of you guys feel like you are rats in the maze. And when you are a rat in this maze, every wall seems like the end of the world. Every stumbling block, every turn you got to make seems like the end of the world. And that's a very, very stressful way to live a lifetime. And so, yes, that will decay you early. But what if I told you that you're not a rat, but that you have abilities to see this in a different way and maneuver it and have a different experience than the one that they programmed you to have? See, you're getting stuck at stuff your grandmama them got stuck at. You're getting still stuck at stuff your granddaddy them got stuck at. You still getting stuck at stuff that your great-great-granddaddy. These folks been dying. We ain't got that yet. They been sick. They've been broke. Come on, man. We still getting stuck at what motherfuckers do for dealing with in 1950s and 1850s. It's because we're not evolving. There's something wrong. Okay. And what we got to do is look at that from a collective, from a cohesion, and say, okay, what is mankind attempting to do? What is mankind ultimate goal? Whether you're Chinese, whether you're American, whether you're European, anybody can come on the chat. Please keep tapping, you guys. I'll keep talking. Come on the chat and tell me, what is mankind? I don't want to hear nothing about American. I don't want to hear nothing about no white people, no black. I just want to know what is mankind's ultimate goal? Put me in the chat, bring them on up. Put me in the chat, bring you on up, okay? What is mankind's ultimate goal? If you've been here longer than 18, 20 years, you have some kind of world view, world perspective by now. What is the ultimate goal of mankind? Not a race, not a tribe, but all of us. What are we attempting to do? Anybody know? Somebody said evolution. Huh? You think everybody's trying to evolve? You think everybody's trying to evolve? Somebody said evolve, I'll put it up there. But I don't know if mankind's agenda is to, we should be. Yeah. Now I'm talking about what we actually are doing. I want to know what we actually are doing. What you think we actually are doing. Yes, we know that's what we need to be doing. Right? Mankind's ultimate thing is to remember. Okay, so here's the thing. Let me help you out. Mankind's ultimate goal at the finite of it all is survival. Okay? Mankind's ultimate goal at the finite of it, at the rudimentary, elementary root of it, is survival. Right? And natural resources that are here on this planet, we are going to utilize these for survival. You need to survive, so you want to stay alive. Mankind's ultimate goal is to stay alive. And they'll do that by any means necessary, meaning even at the cost of your life, this person will stay alive. Even at the cost of your survival, this person will feel they need to survive. At the rudimentary, elementary, fundamental principle of life, all mankind's ultimate goal is to survive. Now, you can call it high class, middle class, or low class, but those are only classifications of survival. Okay? So this survival programming is automatically a signature for the lost, for the children of the lost. Let me repeat this one more time. This survival programming, white, black, Chinese, you have a sign, a birthmark that says that you are the damned, the sinned, the one that don't know, the lost, the confused, the one that will die. Because your birthmark got you in here as simply flesh and no spirit. But the ones that can come in and see that this is a lie, because this is the direct difference than what heaven wants me to feel. Why would I come in here in heaven and feel like I need to survive? That means you already given way over to a hellish experience. Why would Adam and Eve go back to the Garden of Eden and feel like they need to do anything? They're going to remember when they didn't have to do nothing. So then when I come into the paradigm, I am being programmed to survive. And that is a signet, a birthmark that says I'm of the children of the lost. But the children of the light realize that this is not the natural program, that you're already in abundance. There is no lack, so there is no stress. There is no worry for me to do this. When I already have everlasting life, what in the hell would I need to survive for? It's because you don't believe in what you say you do. If you're supposed to have everlasting life and abundance and go to heaven and hell and all this, what are you surviving for? What are you surviving for if you know you're going to leave here? And what if you're surviving for if this is heaven? If you're going to die, what you surviving for? Just hurry up and get me in, baby. I don't even want to see none of this shit. I don't even want to see none of this shit to cry, to say I don't want to go. Go and get me early. So I don't want to see nothing there. So you're surviving to die? And then also you're surviving in heaven? Like, what is so hard about heaven? So it's the programming. And when we can deprogram you, not reprogram you. We're not trying to reprogram you. We don't want to put no different. We don't want to put nothing. We want you to live one day in a clean state. So we want to just deprogram you and then see how you feel without no programming. I've never been just not programmed. Right. Now find purpose. Find God. Find reason now. Okay? Find you now. So we want the collective to start spending moments and minutes and hours at a time, however much you can do, to operate in a clean state where there is no programming, there is no wants, needs, and desires that are causing you the suffering and the stress. If you can get into a state of bliss and peacefulness and abundance, even when you don't have the material, you got to know that you have the spiritual. And you got to let things work themselves out, and you got to be able to know where you at, because you might be asking at the wrong time. Okay? You might be asking at the wrong time. So when you put a rat in a maze, the biggest thing that the rat is going to do is it's not going to survive. It's not going to think about evolving. You got all these rats in the maze, they're not thinking about evolving. You got all these rats in the maze, they're not thinking about remembering. You got all these rats in the maze that all they can think about is surviving. But who can rise up out of that maze? In perspective. You can't fly, so we ain't telling you you're going to grow some wings. You got to rise above that matrix in perspective. But you must do this and then take your body with you. What that means is raise the consciousness of your body. That means that you need to be more sensitive to touch, more sensitive to the air, more sensitive to the water. You need to be more sensitive to pain, more sensitive to the things that you're doing to yourself, self-harm things. You know what I'm talking about? You got to be more sensitive. So you got to rise the consciousness of the body while you rise the consciousness of the spirit, and you now got a whole thing risen instead of a spirit up and then the body dead in a casket. We don't want you to keep having to have your results be what the ancestors' results was. A dead body and a risen spirit. How do we evolve this? How do you resurrect the body? Like Jesus did Lazarus. It's by being ye transformed by the renewing of the mind. And you start to rise the consciousness of this body biologically. And then you start to raise your consciousness of this experience cosmologically. And then you integrate the two, and now you know what to do in perfect timing. That is heaven. And that's how you use holistic medicine. What say you? Anybody got any questions? Anybody got any questions thus far? Trying to enjoy ourselves? Yes, yes, yes. Anybody got any questions thus far? You guys keep tapping. I'll keep talking. Please keep tapping. You guys, I'll keep talking. Okay, let's get us up to 100,000 likes. I should have already had that. Okay, ain't nobody talking to y'all like this on here. Okay, so we want to make sure that we're giving up just due for what it is. Okay, use me while I am able to be used. Okay. But I'm going to work for it. You make sure you interact and work for this information as well. If you guys are interested in the owner's manual, please DM us and somebody will get in contact with you at our earliest convenience, okay? But this is basically what you're getting. You're getting an understanding of the timing that things need to happen, timing that you need to discharge throughout your day, timing about taking your herbs, timings about what foods you need to be eating, timings about what nature-based interventions you need to be doing, timing about your relationships in life, and just understanding where you are in life and understanding your spiritual tendencies and your physical tendencies, because it is time for you to know yourself. It is time for you to know more about you than about that computer. It's time for you to know more about you than about your car. It's time for you to know more about you than about your house. It's time for you to know more about you than about cooking. It's time for you to know more about you than about your job. It's time for you to know more about you than about Jesus. It's time for you to know more about you than about social media. It's time. It's time. And it ain't nothing that we can do about it. So the next question has to be, if it's time, what am I going to do? If it's time, what are you going to do? Okay. Trish F. Aurology, Dan Joy, Chronicles of Harmony. It's time. What are you going to do, Zeke? It's time. So now what you going to do? True Self 88. What you going to do is time. Fave and Rose. What you going to do? It's time. Okay? What can I give away for free? If you can't see what I'm giving away for free, Aurology, please delete yourself from the live. I've already given you enough of myself. Okay? But I can already tell you, Aurology, that you're out of season. You're out of season. You're looking for a freebie and don't know when you get one. It's because you're out of season. Naturally Natty, William Davis. What you going to do now? It's time. Okay? Alo, what you going to do now? It's time. Yeah, y'all better tell these people about me before they come on the live now. Like, I ain't going to let nothing slide. Okay? K. Mitchell, what you going to do? It's time. Okay? User 3713, what you going to do, baby? It's time. Okay? It's time. William P. Lattimore Sr., what you going to do, baby? It's time. Fabian, what you going to do? Grateful. What you going to do? Ganani and Barbara, what you going to do? Spiritual bliss. Annette. Come on, Miss Annette, what you gonna do? Tommy Chance, vocalist, 26. Hold up. Olopa, what you gonna do? It's time. When somebody tells you that it's time, what you gonna do? You sick, but it's time. What you gonna do? You broke, but it's time. What you gonna do? You by yourself, but it's time. What you gonna do? Okay? It's time. And you got to be able to come up with a way to circumvent this situation. You got a sickness, but it's time. What you gonna do? Fold over, roll over? You broke as hell, you ain't got no money, but it's time to do something. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, Donna? Jamel Harris Jr., what you gonna do? I do know that I'm in my winter season. Okay, so you know you in your winter season, then do you know what you need to do? William P. Sr., let me know what you need to do in the winter, because I just told you right here. Okay, you got new beginnings, flourishing, transformation, and conservative. What do you need to do in winter, William? I need to know that you know. Pray and reconnect with nature, Alo said. Okay. Okay. Jose, Josie, I think that was Josie. Delightful. Carla, red for life. It's time. What are you going to do? Okay. Yo, HerbMan, much appreciated. I'm here once again. What's going on, Lep? What's going on, Lep? It's time, man. It's time. What you going to do? Now, you got arthritis, but it's time to fight. Okay. You got cancer, but it's time for war. Okay. You got back pain and diabetes and high blood pressure, but it's time for battle. Okay. You got a bad back and you got an old this and an old that and you got one eye and one arm, but it's time for battle. And you ain't got no money and you ain't got what you need to have and no clothes and no car and this, that, and the third, but it's time for battle. Oh, you ain't got no friends and you ain't got no social media group and no community you belong to and no family. You ain't got no spouse, but it is time for battle. What are you going to do? Because what it is that you're using these excuses because you're unprepared, because you don't know what time it is. This is how you use holistic medicine. We were timekeepers, the keepers of the time, because we followed the path of the sun that led us to a little baby in a manger, just to let you know how important time was and time is. Okay? Somebody said they're going to meditate. Okay, while you down there meditating, I'm going to bust you upside the head in the Bible. While you down there praying and meditating with your eyes closed. You know, there's a script in the Bible where it said that they went and bent over and started drinking water like a dog. And he said, every last one of you motherfuckers that bent over and took your eyes off of the Bible, you're not fit to go to war with me. So you get so caught up in your lack, even in the time of battle, when God says, I will take care of your needs. You get so caught up in your lack that you got unfocused just because you was thirsty. Like I ain't going to give you no water. Like I ain't going to give you another opportunity. Like I ain't going to give you another man, another woman, another spouse, another chance. It is because you are ignorant, because you are the rat in the maze and you have a matrix perspective. But let's rise above it so we can start circumventing these challenges and manipulating our way through and really experiencing what supernatural living in heaven feels like. Is when you know God, you know your surroundings, you know nature. Okay? Yes, time. One of them herbs not going to get the next level. Yes. All right. Yo, you saying they trying to catch us slipping when we react out of our season and what they tell us. Yeah, you got to think about that, right? So you marching, y'all thirsty as hell. But the people telling you, man, look, don't worry about it. God got you. Okay? God got you. We're going to get you. And then they get you to some water and they don't mind you drinking it, but it's how you drunk it. They don't mind taking care of the necessary need. But it is how you got over there, as if you allowed that lack to control you. And you forgot that we're not out here trying to drink no water. We're actually out here to battle. But we just so happen to get some water, still understand where you at. So that's what I'm saying. So you get this little woman, and you get this little family, and you get this little job, and you get this little thing and this little thing, and you get unfocused, and you think that that's what life's about, and you take your eyes off of the real battle. The family ain't the I don't care nothing about you having a family, but there's still a battle going on. I don't care nothing about you having some money, but there's still a battle going on. I don't care nothing about you having a little knowledge about herbs, but there's still a battle going on. And so I don't mind quenching your thirst, but not at the cost. But not at the cost of distracting you from the real purpose we're here. Somebody said, how do we face these challenges? I just described that to you, true self, okay? You face these challenges by getting taught how to be able to integrate the spirit in the body. So that means that you need to be met at the heart. That means that there are going to be questions that I'm going to challenge you on to get you past your challenges, like who abused you? Well, are you happy in life? What are your goals in life? Have you think you done met everything? There's still things left that you haven't met. All these things are going to, your programming is the problem. I got to get to the heart of that program. So yes, I'm gonna make you cry. I want to make you laugh. I want to make you dance, and I want to make you do things that you need to do to produce your own medicines. And that's how we get over the challenges, by challenging the ultimate challenge. And the ultimate challenge is not a job. The ultimate challenge is not money. The ultimate challenge is not other things. The ultimate challenge is yourself. So how do I get over these challenges is how you get over yourself. And that's why this is called the Owner's Manual. A mirror. And you can just say, mirror, mirror on the wall. How do I get up out of this matrix ball? And it'll tell you. The reminder I needed today, much gratitude. Oh yeah, appreciate you, Naturally Natty. You know, hey, something gonna come out of this old mouth as long as I keep it running. Some good will come out of this old mouth as long as I keep it flapping. I want to live where the sun is always shining. Where live in the heart glow. Okay, if you can live in the heart, and if you can live in peace, and if you can really bring heart coherence in through the singing, the laughing, and the discharges throughout your day, and you let nothing break your peace, that's the forever sun that never will dim. Okay, that's the forever sun that never will dim. So that place you're looking for is inwardly. It's not an outward place. Everything will create night here. But if you get it in your heart, oh boy, that sun, they'll never go down. So we're getting over the ego. No, you're not getting over the ego. You can't get over the ego. The ego is a part of you. You don't get over nothing. You ain't killing nothing here. You're just managing it by knowing it. Once we eradicate the ignorance, that's half the battle. So you can't get over yourself. Everybody got ego. If you're a Gemini, then I got Sagittarius. Okay, so Gemini got Sagittarius, Aries got Libra, Taurus got Scorpio, Leo got Aquarius, Virgo got Pisces, right? So that's the 12. So everybody got an ego. You can't go, that can't go nowhere. But you can know about it, because the less you know about the other part of you that's pulling on you, is the more you're separating and you're creating a divorce within the self. But if we can get you to acknowledge that other you, let's acknowledge that it's there. Let's acknowledge that this thing and you got to work together. And let's mend your divorce, and let's get married again. I want you to marry yourself again, but under different understandings of the understanding of life. I don't want you to look, there's a reason why you divorced now, because that's in the program. But I want you to marry yourself again under the true knowledge of the way God made you and the way life was intended to be. That's why we teach you about the human frame and the human design, so that you can be well on your way. You got to know how it was intended And you got to know how you got it now. And then you got to make the choice between the two. Which one of these do you want? God's will or your will? It's the same decision that Adam and Eve still got to make to this day. But this decision ain't an outward thing before it becomes an inward thing. One person has to marry the duality within himself before he understands what marriage looks like outside of him. So you're taking exterior marriage to try to figure out what I'm talking about. I want you to take internal marriage to try to figure out what external marriage look like. Marry yourself before you go try to marry somebody else. Marrying somebody else is not how you should view that. You should be married to yourself. That's when you're ready for somebody else. Because when you working in your supernatural and she working in her supernatural, then guess what? We're birthing supernatural things together. But you unnatural, she unnatural. You have another unnatural seed that still has to find its way through the matrix because he got introduced to it as a rat, not knowing that he's a bat. And a bat can't see. So you'll say, well, you put a bat in a maze, the bat can't see. It'll never get out. Au contraire, mi frère. Au contraire, mi frère. The bat has exactly the ability it needs to get out of the matrix. Because it doesn't take eyesight to be the first one out. Not from these. So his eyes ain't no good anyway. And the rat's eyes ain't no good because even though you can full well see, you still can't see your way out. But the rat came in with wings. That although I can't see my way out, I'm gifted with something that can get me out of here quicker than you think these gifts are. I'm trying to tell you how to use something else you got. You keep trying to use your eyes to get to this. You keep trying to use your man-made intellect to see what I'm saying, and you won't get it. You won't get it. But if you understand that this journey does not require the eyes in your head. But it requires the love in your heart. Donna said, brilliant, JPPP. Yes, sir, it's time. JJP, it's time, baby. What you gonna do? It's time. It's time, Ivana. It's time, Major K. It's time, y'all. What are y'all gonna do, man? Okay? You can't keep letting sick keep you out of the battle. Okay? You're not fit for the life, but you want me to save you. You're not fit for the life, but you want somebody to save you. You want salvation for what? To keep living miserable, to keep being abused. There should be an end to this type of life if this is the way it's going to be. But if we can change it, then life should be everlasting. But who in the hell want to live like this for forever? I get it, I got it. But this ain't the original design. Okay? Yes, you guys can subscribe for $3.99 a month. If you guys want to make sure that you stand in the loop with everything that we're doing, if you want updated on your owner's manual yearly updates, if you want somebody to look over your lab work, lab reviews, if you want just a health advocate, right? You just want some holistic kind of assessment as far as your health journey is concerned. We do all of that for you for $3.99 a month. That is a membership. If you want to become a member, please go over DM us. We'll get you that information as quickly as possible. If you guys are interested in the owner's manual and you got cancer, high blood pressure, diabetes, autoimmune diseases, if you're dealing with arthritis and you're looking to change your life, you can go online. We already got products online that you guys could utilize, but we do not defray from this system, okay? So everything is there is tried and true, and it comes still from this system. So if you like what you're hearing, you can feel safe with those concoctions over there. There's a 21-day detox, lymphatic cleanse. We got the high blood pressure blends, the diabetic blends, cancer blends, arthritic blends, et cetera, et cetera. But if you're looking to try to heal thyself and never, ever have to be codependent on anything, anytime else for a funky measly $50, that's what we're offering you with the owner's manual. I pray you get your LLC and get connections with the government to build money for the kingdom. Donna, I'm not an LLC, I'm an INC. Okay. I've been an INC. All right. So we ain't just getting started, Donna. You don't just get started with doing what I'm doing. Okay. I've been doing this for years. I ain't trying to get no bigger. I'm just trying to get better. Okay. I don't want to get bigger. Yeah, so that's lower than insurance, right? Yeah, that's lower than insurance, the same cost as your copay. You can't beat it. Okay. Lower than insurance, same cost as your copay. You can't beat it. Say, but money helps. Help do what? Help pay bills, help keep me in the matrix. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to free your ass, Donna. You trying to keep me in this motherfucker. You see, yeah, money is good, Donna, but it'll keep me in the matrix. I want to be free. I don't want to have to be burdened to do anything for you to have to make me money, and I don't want to have you to be burdened anything for me to have to make. Look, we don't need that. Okay, don't try to keep me working because it's good. Shit, you know what I mean? I want to be free. You don't supposed to be working your ass off like that. Say, no, wake up more people. Yeah, I wake up more people like through you. There's more people on here that can get more people than money could ever do. Okay? You got 8 billion people on the planet. I don't know how many people you know, Donna, but the thing about it, Donna, you just don't want to open your mouth and do your job. But if we all go out here and start sharing this information and be true to it and just expose people to it, I can get further along than money could ever do. Word of mouth has been my biggest marketing tool, period. I ain't never had no money. Yeah, you talking about I ain't never had no money. But how did I get this far? How did I be able to live in South Africa for damn near a year and still have my home that is a is a $250,000 home with a car, still at the crib. I ain't sold my shit like somebody else to have to go live overseas. So I'm here with my family, still got my shit there, been here damn near a year, and you talking about what do you need more than that? I just want to be free enough to do those little things. I just want to be free enough to be me, and being free enough to be me is not $1 billion life. So what my little wants, needs, and desires are don't require for me to have to work my ass off, but it does require for me to have to be able to, I'm gonna say, be in service. So therefore, if you guys continue to keep marketing with your mouths, that is going to be the biggest way that we can expand this information. Not money, mouths. Somebody put in the chat, not money, mouths. Okay? Not money. He don't need money. He need mouths. We need to tell folk about this man. Not money, mouths. Yes, sir, A-Lo. Thank you. Thank you. You don't need no money. We need mouths. You guys are coming here and you're being very selfish with this information. And you're coming here, you're tuning in every day like I'm your goddamn teacher, like I'm your cousin or brother, and I'm not. You see, I am, but not in that way. We're not looking for seat fillers. We're looking for people who can put this into practice. This brother asked me the other day, I want to be able to teach it. And I'm like, yo, the reason why you guys can't teach this is because you're not living it. The reason why somebody is an influencer is because it's something that they're doing that is influencing. Some people want to live like me and want to be able to live and not have to clock in and want to be able to go to another country for a year and want to be able to live overseas because that's an influential life. Then you become an influencer. Some of y'all don't got no lives that's going to influence. Let's just keep it what it is. So how can we? So my point is that you can't teach nobody if you study sick. Oh, you got high blood pressure and diabetes, but I'm trying to help my mama. I want to help my mama get off stuff, but you know, your mama ain't finna listen to your ass. Your mama listen to doctors for her health, not her children. Your mama listen to pastors for her religion, not her friends. Because you're running your mouth and people see your life, and therefore you can't help them if you can't help yourself with your information. If you ain't helping yourself with your information, don't bring your sloppy ass over here to tell me nothing. And so you can't influence. So we need more mouths that are practical, that can be models of the owner's manual. And when you're a model of it, you don't need to worry about influencing. Your life will do it. Your shine will do it. Your disconnection from the program would do it. My mama listened to me right now. If something went on with my mama and I called and be like, Mom, you need to think about taking some hawthorn berry. She got that about 30 minutes later. Yeah, I looked it up now. I said it might be good for old blood pressure. Now you might need to go and give me. But why would she listen to me? I'm not a doctor. Am I? Why would my mother listen to me about her health? I'm not a doctor. Am I? So when you can start living it, you can influence. So put the focus on knowing thyself, not teaching others. Put that in the chat, somebody. Your focus should be knowing thyself, not trying to teach others. Stop trying to make money off of everything. Your focus should be on knowing thyself, not trying to teach others. This ain't nothing for teaching nobody else. I wouldn't want nobody to teach me shit. I'm being real with y'all. I wouldn't want nobody to teach me a motherfucking thing, but teach me, just tell me what I need to teach myself and let me go and do my own education. I don't need nobody to teach me nothing, but teach me how to teach myself. I'll go get it. I'll be the person I need to be for me, and I'll be the influencer. Because once I've done it and once I've lived it and once I get you to understand that I'm not only the client but the president of this, and that I had an autoimmune disease called ulcerative colitis and I don't have no diseases right now, and that I'm 46 years old, still making babies, still doing my thing, living life to the fullest at this age. When you stop and, oh, I got too, boy, I don't wear it, no, I'm too old. Not me. I'm not too old, motherfucker. Hell, I got friends that schoolmate. Football shit, I ain't trying to have now. 45, I'm 46. Man, y'all crazy hell. Y'all ready to die already. That's why. Things are life. Keep creating. Keep going new. Shit. Long as I can create, I'm gonna create something. You always got to keep a baby. And that baby is always a creative idea. It's always a new beginning. It's always something you can be doing. Always plant seeds. Because that's a natural cyclical understanding. Okay? So that's what we need to know. Word. Yes, sir. I ain't mean to cuss y'all out right there, but y'all know I had to get one in. Y'all know I had to get one in, right? So we don't need money. We need miles. We need more people. Okay? I got hundreds of people coming on here on a daily basis. You need to be telling people that, look, there is a way where you can get healthy for very simple, very affordable, but highly effective. Now, it's going to require you to be practical. This ain't something you can just sit on the sidelines and do. But if you are willing to do it, you'll get the results that you're looking for at a faster pace, and it'll make you a better person. Not just your situation better, but you better. What medication do that? That's how you use holistic medicine, you guys, all right? So I love you guys, man. I appreciate all of your love. I appreciate all of the support. I got so much stuff to do, you guys. I'm getting busier and busier. I got the world that we're trying to facilitate now, but I appreciate you guys. I got people all the way in UK. I got people all the way, obviously, in the States, man. So we're dealing with people every which way we possibly can, but we need people to spread this word so that people can start getting this nature-based intervention, man. The best thing popping. I love you guys. It's absolutely nothing you can do about it. And until next time, love HerbMan. Woo-say! Man, I told you, boy, you ain't gonna work out. All right, peace.